apple crumble has 3 different components. The filling, let's see. Okay, the microphone is working, so let's start. My apple crumble has 3 different components. I want you to focus first on the filling. Slice that apple really thinly because you want the apple to be cooked entirely the same temperature and with the same thickness. If you have the tool that can remove the pit and the seeds of the apple, great, or else you will have to do what I'm doing, removing the pit. Then you would have to coat the apple in lemon juice to avoid the apple to oxidate and spread it evenly on a board by then adding the flavoring. The flavoring would be cinnamon and then vanilla sugar. I think you can also, if you are a little bit adventurous, add nutmeg or even a little bit of port wine, but just the cinnamon and the vanilla sugar would be enough. Afterwards, let it sit because you want the apples to kind of get sweat. Let's do the crust. You will need flour. You will need, I chose brown sugar, however you can choose normal sugar if you want. Then of course you're gonna need something to rise, and I would advise you to use baking powder and tons of vanilla extract because vanilla extract makes everything great, you know. You have to season your crust, so add a little bit of salt. I chose to use and cut my butter just to make it easy because you're gonna be whisking this crust for about 20 minutes. I'm not kidding. My arms were not happy. It was not happy at all. But you know, afterwards it was necessary. I didn't need to add any extra liquids to the crust. However, you can add 1 to 4 tablespoons of soy milk if the crust is taking too long to look like that. Store it in the fridge for half an hour, and then you can start assembling your cake. I would advise you to divide the dough into 2 parts, one for the crust and one for the crumble, okay? But do them separately. For the crumble, you will need half the measurements that you use for the crust. Spread butter onto your baking form, and then it's time to assemble. Alright, my legs. Okay, let's see. Yes, sir. It's not good. Okay. I am going to if the microphone doesn't work, I will use my iPhone. Okay, I just added my tablet, muted. I will use the microphone. I need to remove this because this is not comfortable. Okay, I think it's easier for me to just hold the microphone instead. Okay, perfect. Now we're playing. Okay, so why do I need this? I think I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, perfect. Let me just eject it. Okay. Let's get it on. Ooh. Okay. Let's do this. Today we will do apple crumble. For my apple crumble, I think we're gonna start by focusing. No. We will do apple crumble. Apparently, wait, I need the sound off. Apparently, my boyfriend's grandma used to make apple crumble for him growing up. He was in the mood for it, so I thought, I am certain I can veganize it. I am certain I can veganize it. So that's what I'm doing. Today we will make apple crumble. I will ask you to get the tool that has. I think if you have the tool that can remove the seeds of the apple, it would be much easier for you. If you don't, I guess you're gonna have to do like I did, remove the apple seeds one by one. Slice the layers really thinly because you want the apple to cook evenly, right? Then let's spread everything on the kitchen board or on your container. You want to add layers of lemon juice because you don't want the apple to oxidize. Then we're gonna add the flavoring. I chose cinnamon and vanilla sugar. However, I think if you are feeling a little bit daring, you can add some nutmeg or even ginger powder. I think it will feel quite nice. Let's start with the crust. For the crust, you will need flour. I chose brown sugar. However, you can use any type of sugar that you like. I don't advise you to use honey. We had that story in the family and did not work well. Of course, you need baking powder, tons of vanilla extract because vanilla extract makes everything better. And you need to season your cake by adding salt. Okay? I chose to cut the room temperature butter because it was easier for us to then whisk everything. Keep in mind, you're gonna be whisking this dough for about 20 minutes. I'm not kidding. At the end, my arms were going through it. I didn't end up not needing to use soy milk. However, in case you need to use soy milk, use it because it's gonna speed up the time. Okay? Once the filling is done, divide it into batches. One for the crust and the other one for the crumble. Okay? For me, I had to use some crumble towards the end because the amount of dough I had was not enough for both the crust and the crumble. Keep it in the fridge for 30 minutes because you need the butter to solidify and to get that crunchy dough that you are looking for. After everything is set, it's time to assemble. Grab your baking pan, spread some butter on it to avoid anything sticking, and it's time to assemble. I would advise you to layer things kind of pretty, kind of evenly, because it will allow for a better cake and also for satisfying layers once everybody's eating the cake. Like I say, in case you don't have enough you will have to bake the cake for 55 minutes at 100 degrees. You're gonna have to bake the cake at 55. You're gonna have to bake the cake for 55 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. I use the so that's it. I would advise you to serve the cake with some vanilla yogurt. No, not